Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Chosen Commander quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. So you must complete these quests: Land of the Goblins, Another Slice of Ham, Death to the Dorgashan, the Lost Tribe, Goblin Diplomacy, the Giant Dwarf, the Dig Site, and the Fishing Contest quest. As for skill requirements, you will need level 46 agility, which can be boosted, level 46 strength, and level 46 thieving. You're also going to need a combat level to be able to defeat a few level 75s, but they aren't overly difficult and they all have their own different tactics, which I'll tell you about during the guide. That's it for the requirements. Now onto the items. So you will need a light source. You'll need a full H.A.M robe set, which you will obtain during the quest. However, if you happen to lose it, you'll need to get another one yourself manually. You'll also need some coins if you make a couple of mistakes during this quest, but I will tell you how to avoid doing that. And obviously you'll need some food, armour and weapon for the different fights. Now most of the enemies in this quest are weak to magic, so if you're a decent magic level, bring your sort of best magic armour and weapon, and obviously runes to cast your strongest of each of the elemental spells, as they vary for each enemy what they are specifically weak against, but I will tell you which enemy is weak against what spell during this guide. So that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Lumbridge Lodestone, which we access via the Lodestone network. Now we'll be going to some different Lodestones during this guide. So if you don't have full access to the Lodestone network, in the video description below I have a guide which tells you how to unlock the full Lodestone network, and it just speeds up completing quests. From here we're going to head to the quest starting point, which is in the Cave Goblin city of Dorgish Khan, which obviously you've been to numerous times in the prequel quests. So to remind you how to get to Dorgish Khan, if you literally go to the Lumbridge Castle kitchen, go down the trapdoor, you've obviously got then the hole in the wall, go through that. Then you get the option to follow a cave goblin down into the mines, and then simply enter the main city gates, and you'll be inside the city of Dorgish Khan. The quest starting point is by speaking to Captain Undak. He is located in the northeast part of the market and southeast of the bank. If you just watch where I'm going, I'll show you where he is. So, talking to Captain Undak, ask if there's anything you can do to help, and he'll say that the children are nurtured and taught in a special nursery away from their parents. However, some of the children have been getting ill lately, and Undak suspects H.A.M members may be behind it. Agree to investigate, and you'll now need to go up the nearby stairs to go to the nursery. Once you're near the nursery, speak to the goblin called Murnick, and Murnick will redirect you to her assistant, who is on the outside of the nursery, called Torzek. You want to talk to her and first select the calm down option, and then the other options in any order, but you must make sure you go through all of the different dialogue. So what we need to do now is talk to the different children and find out what they've eaten to narrow down which children have been ill and what foods they had. Now the answer is the same for all of you, or it should be anyway, but I do believe you need to speak to a minimum amount of children for it actually to work, otherwise it'll be like, oh, you haven't actually worked it out yourself. So what I would do is just go and speak to sort of 7 to 8 of the cave goblin children, just sort of alternate between them all and ask them what they've eaten, and eventually you should then be able to speak to Murnick and say that you figured out which foods are the ones that are poisoned. So once you've spoken to a few of the children, talk to Torzek again and tell her you know which foods are poisoned. You then want to talk to Captain Undak, who is following you, and we now need to head towards the marketplace to find out which market people are selling the foods. So in the marketplace you'll see there's loads of vendors, and they'll be shouting what items they are selling, and you need to look for the 2 which you believe are the poisoned food, which are the frog spawn gumbo and the green gloop soup, which is also known as cave slime soup. So find the merchant who is selling frog spawn gumbo and ask him who the suppliers are, and then you also then want to talk to the goblin who is selling the green gloop soup or cave slime soup, and again ask which supplier he works for. You should get the same answer, which is Walton. So Walton is the supplier we need to speak to, and he should be the same one for all of you. So you'll find him on the very south end of the market in a corner to the east, so just head where I'm heading now. When you find Walton, confront him and choose the option to attack. He shouldn't take too long to do any damage to, but when he's injured enough he'll turn on a protection prayer, after which Zanuck will appear suddenly from a portal and helps you with the fight. So once you've defeated Walton, talk to Zanuck, and you can select whatever you want for the first few options until you get the option about hearing her story, and you want to select the yes what happened option, and your perspective will change to controlling her in a different scene. So Zanuck will awaken in her sort of past, and you need to control Zanuck while she sort of relives what happened. So what you need to do is climb onto the nearby short goblin statue, which is just southwest of the orc statue with the stone bowl. You then want to jump to the orc statue and then keep jumping east and then north until you're on top of the orc statue, and a cutscene will occur. After the cutscene, continue to hop north across the statues until you reach the northern ledge, and you want to pick up the crossbow. You then want to grapple the spear nearest to the ledge, and this will land you on the throne. And there should be a pendant on the throne which you need to pick up, which Zanuck will then automatically put on. Zanuck will then need to jump down from the throne, and the bowl will lower down, and you want to look into the bowl and see another cutscene. What you then need to do is keep getting Zanuck to head in this direction where all the statues are, and the statues will move out of Zanuck's way, leading up to a portal which you then need to go through, and that will take you back to the current point when Zanuck appeared to help you fight Walton. So after you've finished controlling Zanuck, talk to her again and agree to talk to the council so she may explain what happened. So the council can be found at the very north end of Dorgish Khan and right up the stairs, not far away from where the quest start point was. So keep heading that direction now. And as you head upstairs, another cutscene occurs. The cutscene will be about trying to confront Walton about his wrongdoings. Go through the dialogue and choose the different options. It doesn't matter which ones you pick. Regardless of what you pick, Zanuck will kill the agent and run away, and then after the cutscene you want to talk to Captain Undak and agree to look for Zanuck. So Zanuck flees to the Dorgish Khan agility course. This is near where he went in the Land of the Goblins quest, which you'll find at the very south side of the Dorgish Khan city, and you need to go up several staircases to reach that area, so just watch where I'm going and head in that direction now. So when you are near the main part of the agility course, you want to go down the ladder to the west just here, so you're sort of on the ground floor, and then you want to keep going straight south to Zanuck, who'll be sitting there. Choose to sit next to Zanuck and keep doing the say nothing dialogue option until it's no longer available, and then ask Zanuck what she wished had happened. Go through the rest of the dialogue until Zanuck agrees to return to the council, and then you'll have another cutscene which will occur where Zanuck is banished from the city. So after the cutscene at the council chamber, she will obviously be banished from the city. You want to talk to her quickly, and then she will teleport away using a goblin sphere. And then you want to talk to Captain Undak to find out how to help him further, and he'll give you a set of H.A.M robes. So we now need to locate the new H.A.M base. Now the first thing we need to do is head to the old one. So what you're going to do is teleport to the Lumbridge Lodestone via the Lodestone network, and then head to the current H.A.M headquarters, which is northeast where you are. You just need to go across the bridge near the River Lum and look for the old mine entrance, and you'll need to lockpick the trapdoor in order to gain access. Once you're inside the headquarters, make your way south into the meeting chamber, and then from there go into a southern room where you'll find Jagex, and you want to talk to him and start the conversation with what are you going to do about the cave goblins, otherwise the conversation will go nowhere. And during the conversation you will learn that there is a second base near Ardone, and you want to agree to go there, and he'll give you a password of a RAV to relay to Milton the Miller. So the new base is located near the Fishing Guild and also quite close to the Ardone Lodestone, so we're going to teleport there now just to speed up getting there. Once there, keep heading north until you get near the windmill, and you want to speak to Milton. If you're wearing your H.A.M robes there, he will be upset, but will still let you in after you say the password, which is a RAV, and he'll reveal a trapdoor to the H.A.M base which you need to go down. So once you're inside the new base, you need to go to the room near the jail cell, which is in the very southeastern corner of the base. You'll need to go through several doors. Once you're there, you want to talk to the guard until he says what the current day is. Now I believe this is different for each of you, so make sure you take note on what day it is for you. You then want to read the notice board on the nearby south wall and match the current day with a name. So, for example, if the guard tells you that the current date is Dune Day, you need to speak to Charles, or if he says it's Gold Day, you need to speak to Sam, etc, etc. What you now need to do is go to the main room, which is near where we first went down the trapdoor, where there's a load of H.A.M agents, and you need to pickpocket the relevant H.A.M agent from the main room whose name matches the one on the notice board. So whatever day the guard says to you, you need to pickpocket that H.A.M member until you get a letter, and we then need to bring this back to the guard who is outside the jail cell. So once you have the letter and you've shown it to the guard, you'll be allowed inside the jail cell, and you want to pick up the H.A.M prison key from the floor and use the key on the cell door and talk to Grubfoot. So you now need to try and get Grubfoot out of the room or out of the jail by distracting the guards, and you'll need to talk to him at different moments. So I will talk you through what you need to do. So firstly, before you go through the door, tell Grubfoot to wait while you distract the guard. What you need to do is unlock the doors in the room opposite. To unlock both the doors, you want to go through the kitchen east wall, and you'll be able to click the squeeze through the hole option, and you want to unlock both doors just by opening each of them. From this point they can be opened from both sides. So now Grubfoot can go to the room west of the jail when the guard is distracted. So when you have both doors open, as I just said, go and talk to the guard while standing to the north of him, which will make him have his back to Grubfoot. While you're talking, Grubfoot will walk out one door and in through the other. So once Grubfoot is snuck into the next room, you want to follow him and tell him to walk to the west door. Do not tell him to go through the crack on the east room or he'll be caught. So, he will take his position at the door. What you then need to do is crawl through the hole in the wall into the kitchen, try to take a plate, and it will cause the plates to crash on the floor. The guard will then come into the kitchen and investigate the noise, and then Grubfoot will sneak into the bedroom. Go into the room where Grubfoot is now hiding and tell him to follow you, and go out the side door where the guard is not located, and you'll go through a small maze of crates. You will get caught by a guard, but Grubfoot will hit him with a spell, stunning him long enough for you both to escape. So you want to run up the ramp and out the door at the top, and as you walk out the door you'll see Zanuck and an army of goblins attacking H.A.M members, and Sigmund will attack you and Zanuck will come to your aid. Now the Sigmund fight is pretty much similar to all the other ones, so just do what you normally would do. When he is near death he will try to escape using his ring of life, but Zanuck will cut off his left hand, preventing him, and you'll be given the choice to either agree, disagree or give no comments about killing Sigmund. But in the conversation Zanuck says she never had the choice when she was captured by the H.A.M group, and kills him regardless of whatever you say. Once Sigmund has been killed, speak to Zanuck and she'll quickly tell you that you'll be killed next, and she'll begin to attack you. So again, Zanuck is not difficult to use, especially if you use magic. I believe that's her main weakness at this current time. When you get her health down to 0, she'll comment on how she can't die and her health will be replenished. You must continue to attack her, and each time her health gets down to 0, you need to select the most positive response that will encourage her to fight the mind-controlling powers she is under and reminds her of your friendship. They're easy enough to identify which ones are the positive ones. Once you've got her health down about 4 more times, you'll be able to select the option telling her to take off the pendant she is wearing. Zanuck will then take the pendant off and fling it down below, where the Goblin High Priest will pick it up and cause an earthquake. Zanuck will take your hand and teleport the both of you out of the collapsing hideaway. So you'll now be in a small cave, and Zanuck will give you an oil lamp if you do not already have a light source, and tells you that the teleportation must have been a bit off since there were 2 travelling. You want to walk through the cave until there is an earthquake, and you'll see that Zanuck gets stuck on the other side of a rock wall, and you need to ask her if she's alright, and then right click the rubble and choose the option that says clear fallen rocks. Walk through the path and you'll see Zanuck on a small ledge. Tell her that she has to try get out using her crossbow as a grapple. She'll shoot it once, and you need to keep directing her fire accordingly so that she hits a small rock that is just sticking out slightly. Just keep the camera turned in the right direction and you'll see what she's aiming for, so you can give her the correct directional options. Once Zanuck has successfully grappled out, you need to head out of the cave, which will take you just near where Juna is, the snake, and you want to go talk to Juna, and she'll explain about Zanuck's destiny. After you finish speaking to Juna, keep heading west and continue until you reach a cave opening and enter the tunnel. You now want to go north to Dorgashkhan by jumping over the stepping stones, and then keep heading north from there until you get the option to climb through a hole in the wall, which will lead you near where the Lumbridge Castle kitchen is. Once you're near the Lumbridge kitchen, talk to Khazgar, who will take you to the entrance of the city, and then you want to go into the main city of Dorgashkhan and locate Captain Undak, who can be found not far from where the quest starting point was. After you've spoken to Captain Undak, you then want to go north and head up the stairs to meet once again with the council. So after the cutscene, they're going to prepare for the battle against Bandos. Now there's 3 tasks you need to do. Now you can do these in any order you like. I cannot remember the exact order I sort of done mine in. I think I kind of did 2 at a time. So I will talk you through what each task you need to do. They're very easy, and then you can do that in any order you like. So you've got the option to make a time capsule. Now to do that, you need to go back to the council chamber and talk to the goblin scribe and agree to help put together a time capsule. You'll then need to go to the centre of the town where the obelisk is and head east through a corridor to find a goblin called Tegdak, and you want to talk to him to get a box of artifacts. Take this back to the goblin scribe who you spoke to, and he'll seal the time capsule for you and tell you to talk to Mistag. Now Mistag is one of the cave goblins you find in the Dorgashan mine, literally just near where the city gate entrance is, and you want to ask him to bury the time capsule for you. So that's what you need to do for the time capsule task. The other task is regarding the power station. That is to help make a special weapon that Oldak thinks will work against the Bandos avatar. So you will find Oldak in his room in the northwest corner, and he tells you he needs parts from the power station south of the city. Now you'll find the power station not far from where you went to speak to Zanuck near the agility course, so you want to head all in that direction now. Once you're near the agility area, you want to head east to the power station and go down the stairs and talk to Turgle and ask him for energy projectors and a focusing chamber. Once he's given that to you, you want to find Oldak, who is at the portal where Zanuck appeared earlier in the quest where you fought the merchant Walton, just near where the staircase is that leads you to the agility course. Talk to Oldak and give him the items, and he'll take the parts and give you Zanuck's crossbow with an upgrade. You then want to give this crossbow to Zanuck. Zanuck will then tell you to check on the children at the nursery as your final task. So you should remember where the nursery was, near where the quest start point is. You want to go up there and talk to Murnick, and she will ask you to talk to Ambassador Alvajar in the house north of the nursery, who is the dwarf. You want to talk to him about sending the children to Keldagrim as refugees, and he refuses, as taking them could endanger Keldagrim, and then he wants to return to Murnick and tell her the bad news. So once you've completed those 3 little tasks, the time capsule, the upgrade to Zanuck's crossbow using the power station, and talking to the children, you'll now want to prepare for the final fight against the Bandos avatar. Like I said at the beginning of this guide, he is quite weak to magic, so if you've got a decent magic level, definitely bring your best armour and weapon and elemental runes with you. And then when you're ready, you want to talk to Zanuck, who is at the portal where Oldak gave you the upgraded crossbow, and I'll speak to you in a few moments. So once you've found Zanuck by the portal again, agree to start fighting, and you'll be both teleported to the throne room, and as you both walk in, you'll see the goblin priest with the Bandos avatar, and you'll now need to defeat him. So the Bandos avatar uses a combination of melee and magic, but he's actually not really that powerful, and like I said, is quite weak to magic himself. The Bandos avatar is also very weak to fire spells, so you want to use the strongest fire spell you can, whether that's bolt or strike or blast, etc. When the avatar gets to 0 health, you want to command Zanuck to use a special attack, but Bandos will hit her crossbow, breaking it, and summon an ogre statue. You want to attempt to pick up the pieces of the crossbow, which are 3 in total. For every piece you try to pick up, you'll have to defeat a statue, which it will summon. I believe the weakness of the statues vary in terms of elemental spells, so just literally change your spell while you're fighting them. Once you have all 3 pieces, you want to use Zanuck's crossbow with the 3 items to get the special crossbow, and then the avatar will potentially kill Zanuck. With Zanuck presumably dead, it's now just a fight between you and the avatar. Again, switch back to fire spells from after fighting the statues, just to make it easier to defeat him. Once you've got him back to 0 health points again, a chat box will come up. Don't try to hit him again or anything, or click him, otherwise you'll have to fight him to 0 health again. And you should be able to get the option to use Zanuck's crossbow's special attack on him, which will trigger the Goblin Priest to die and the avatar will diminish. You then want to pick up the pendant, drop by the avatar, and then select to talk to Zanuck. You want to sit down next to her and keep saying nothing, and eventually she will revive herself and destroy the pendant. After Zanuck's back on her feet and you've destroyed the pendant, you want to head back through the portal, and a long cutscene will take place, summing up all the previous quests in the Cave Goblin series. After the cutscene has ended, it will come up, congratulations, you have completed the Chosen Commander quest. You're awarded 3 quest points, 20,000 agility, strength and thieving experience, Zanuck's crossbow, the ability to buy Bandos Throne Room spheres from Oldak, the ability to fight goblin statues, orc statues, ogre statues and orc statues in the Bandos Throne Room, access to a new agility course inside Bandos' Throne Room. You can receive a Goblin Cower Shield by talking to a general in Goblin Village, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So yeah, that's it, quest complete. Overall, not a difficult quest. It's a lengthy quest because there's lots of different like dialogue bits to do and little sort of activities you have to kind of do through the quest. There's a lot of talking to different NPCs, I must admit, but for the actual sort of fighting itself, the battles are not really that difficult, especially the battle against the Bandos Avatar. As long as you're using magic, you shouldn't have any problems there at all. Overall though, the reward for this quest is pretty decent, especially the amount of experience you do get for those 3 skills. Strength is obviously fairly easy to train anyway, but 20,000 thieving experience and agility experience will come very handy for leveling you up to help you to enable to do other quests. So this was the last official quest for the Cave Goblin series. There is a sequel quest called The Mighty Fall, but that is mostly related to Bandos, not so much to Cave Goblins, but it is a requirement to be able to do that quest. But as for the Cave Goblin series, that is the end of it so far. But yeah, I don't think you'll run into problems following my guide. However, if you do get stuck at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.